Okay, I'm gonna try to make this quick because I have to go soon, but this is just the review of Jumppl, and I have I have some project management tools that I use, and they're good at different things. Um, and but I'm always like open to new ones. And one of the things that so I use two main tools for my tasks. I use Freedcamp and I use now Hubstaff Tasks. And I like the organizational flow of Hubstaff Tasks and kind of how it puts things together. There are little bugs that are kind of annoying, like if I go into a new task and I want to start like a timer for it or something, I have to add myself first, and then once I add myself, this turns blue, but I click on it and couldn't find task in Hubstaff. So I gotta X out of it, then re-click into it, and then I can start the timer. So that's one of the annoying things. But really what, and this is, I'm on this part of the Jumppl Appsumo page. Really, what I wanted was what this is kind of saying here. Use the timesheet and attendance module to track attendance and hours worked. Now, what I was thinking that meant is someone could just, start a timer overall for I have outsourced workers, so I want somebody who to come in, clock in, and then start a task and then start the timer for the task, so I can know that there's two different payments going on here. One, I have to pay them for their hours. That's from when they come in to when they leave, or when they start work to when they stop work. Not necessarily on what tasks they work on. So this is for my billing purposes. So if I want to bill a client for, for different tasks that they're doing in different projects, I should be able to track that individually here. So essentially, it's an overall time tracking thing, and then an individual time tracking thing, which is what it kind of sounds like this is. Timesheet and attendance module to track attendance and hours worked. So I have semi-decent with some problems, task management utilities. Freedcamp can be a little bit overwhelming for clients and stuff. I didn't actually jump on, I left a comment here for Freedcamp, when they had this on Appsumo, and I opted not to buy into it because I was going to actually lose functionality because I use this for so many clients. So if I go to, however I get back to the homepage, projects, I use this for all of my projects, and they all have different team members for depending on what their needs are. Some are it's just me, some it's just me and an assistant, some it's me and some developer or a blog writer or whatever they're hiring me to do. But this is an ongoing service, so all these projects have to stay open because they could be because at any time after the website is designed and launched, they could be coming back with change requests or more features because it's I provide an ongoing service. So I need, I was going to be limited with how many people I could add with the Appsumo deal, whereas right now I can add whoever I want and they can comment, I can assign tasks to them. I couldn't do that. So Freedcamp was just better free than it was with the deal, but the time tracking is just terrible, as people also mentioned in the comments and stuff here. It just it's kind of hacky together and it doesn't work very well. Same thing with this. This is just the time tracking on this is just brutal. If you got more than one code, 100% useless to get the extra codes, in my opinion, because the time tracking is just not user friendly, not there. It's not easy to report on. It's just overall, I don't know. I like the look of Hubstaff. It has some issues where you can't. There's no, as far as I can tell, there's no ability to format this stuff, so you can't make it one good thing about this is, let's check out Boston Automations, is the descriptions on these are very pretty, so it doesn't actually show any of these, but you can make them, you can bold this, and then you can add an unordered list, and list 1, list 2. Okay, you guys know how these work. So very functional. This works very well. And then so this is essentially what I'm starting with and what I need. And I'm like, okay, I need a project management, and you can track attendance and hours, and it also takes screenshots. One thing that like a bunch of people were really pissed off about with the Hubstaff one is that like you couldn't take screenshots. So like, but this includes the screenshots with it. So all right, so great. And so I log in and I start creating accounts, and like the first thing I notice like is like, let's go to Kanban, and like I'm scrolling my scroll wheel right now, and it's like only like half partial working. So like if you go in these little in spaces, you can always get it to work, but it's kind of a pain, and that's how you scroll over to the side. So see how like, just for an example here, in here it's always available, like in the they're a little bit tightened up here, and still kind of, I don't know about the going back and forth. There's a better way to actually deal with low, medium, and high with labels, but that I haven't set up yet, which I'll do probably later. But I was really hoping I would be able to get this to work with Jumppl. So just scrolling up and down, like it's not even that, like why, like there's 2 items here. Why do I have to scroll? Like I don't understand. That's just horrible design, which brings me to probably like immediately, is it reviews? I think it is, yeah. To Sapphire Wolf's, where he just kind of like said, pretty brutally but very honestly, that the UI not good, all kinds of like issues with the like just the flow of things, just not thought out well at all. But anyway, okay, so I could probably get over that. Not a huge deal. Adding tasks is relatively simple. Task, I hit enter, like the page reloads and it disappears. I can't create another, I have to click the plus sign again. Not very well thought out, right? Like just, I mean, on all of these, right? Task, you hit enter and you can just blast through the tasks that you need, and then you can go back into them and add descriptions and assignees and stuff like that. Like it's just a super useful way of dealing with it. Literally every single platform does. Like this pops up and gives you so many options, but I can say task, hit enter, task 2, hit enter, and I can just blast through tasks like that. Not with Jumppl. So, okay, all right. So now I have like these low priority, high priority tasks. I don't know if this has, I don't know what this is supposed to do here. I'll get to that section in a minute, but let's just move over. I want to move this. This should be back here, okay? And then, let's move a task over to low priority. Now let's leave and then come back to this page. And these are over here. So it doesn't save the positioning of these things. Okay? Another issue. Like, all right, but maybe that would be palatable temporarily. Maybe I just won't use Kanban. Like it's not, I can't really scroll through this. Like this is just too painful to use to get over to these other ones that I can't see yet anyway. So whatever. Like let's just go back to list view and let's just start working on some of these lists. So I'm in here. I have subtasks, but how do I know I have subtasks? I literally have to click into the subtasks to see the subtasks. That is just no indication here. Let's see how this deals with it. For one, you can show them in the drop down like this on Freedcamp, right? Or if they're collapsed, you can see. Let's see, which one did I just collapse? right here, 404. So you can see like it gives you a little indicator here that you have subtasks. So let's see if I can find one that's not done. Let's uncheck it. No progress. So you'll be able to see like on your unchecked task, like easily, like quickly, that you have 4 subtasks that need to be worked on. And this is again, like here, this is just like a little bit prettier of a layout. You can just copy and paste right into it. The subtasks are right here in line with this task, so they're like right here, so you know, like you read through the description. You see you have some subtasks. You can comment on everything. And if I'm not mistaken, even the comments you can add different things to. So it's just like, Freecamp's probably one of the most well-rounded Basecamp alternatives. And, it's just, so I don't know. There's just so many issues. And then like the one thing, like the one simple thing that like I was like, oh, I mean, honestly, the timesheet and attendance stuff, like I've already decided, like that's not that big of a deal. But it actually doesn't even do this. It doesn't do what it's indicating that it does here, because there's no way that there's not 2 separate time tracked events. You can't say there's no. How do they put it? There's no tracking of attendance. Right? It's just hours. It's just hours worked on the individual tasks, and doing that. Let's see, time tracking. Looks like you can just start here. Yep. Probably one of the easiest to start time tracking, but I'm in this task. I mean, ideally, what would happen is, what I was hoping happened with Freedcamp when they added time tracking was you would be able to like just start a general timer in one of the there's no time tracking actually in this particular one, but just like be able to start a timer. I have one running right now. Let's stop it and see if it updates. It did. Okay, so start a timer, and as you're working on and checking off tasks and stuff, it's keeping track of it for you. So like I go into this and I say, in progress. It sees that I have a timer running. It sees that I started working on this one, and then it goes to the and then it just logs like how long till I completed this while I was time tracking it. And if I was working on more than one, it could kind of take those things into account and consideration, and then I'd be able to report on and bill out based on how many hours I worked here or there or whatever, and then the in between hours are just in between hours. But I'd also be able to see that, like, oh, there's 2 hours of downtime where you weren't working on one of these tasks. What was going on? Type of deal, right? So just unfortunately, that's just like, I don't think that exists in anything. Like, this made me excited about that, but honestly, like, this is supposed to be a project management utility, I think. But it's just like, it's so far behind. Like, just look at the details. So let's see, assign to, what even is this? Edit your content here. Okay, that's the name. So title of task, and then the details here, like only ordered list, right? Oh God, why is that so painful? All right, and then so let's just say some details, and then I need let's say one, and I'm just gonna do this. Dude, that looks great. You know what I mean? That looks great. Right? That's great. Ugh. And not even any, like, I mean, how do you, like, at least, I guess you have, these are the, like, this is the type, this is what I'm fucking talking, this is the frustration, like, with the time wasted with this thing. Like, look. So there's so many instances, like, through this entire platform, there's so many things like this, right? Like, what the hell? What does that even say right there? I, I, how do you, can you, it just, dude, come on, bro. Like this is, here's the most aggravating part. 2019, and their response, like, I mean, honestly, like the response here, I was just like, all right, you know what I mean? As a business owner, like somebody creams me, you know, like I may have responded like this as well. The fact that he's saying the whole time, like, dude, like, stop patting yourself on the back, like, you know, there are serious flaws with the UX, like serious flaws, and then they came back like eventually and they were like, oh, sorry about how we responded, blah 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 blah, and like, oh, you know, but they didn't take it seriously at all. This has to be exactly what he was talking about in the beginning. Like just this little, this is what, why, like why would this have a better, have like a higher index or whatever it's called than than this menu? What the hell is going on here? I don't know. Like this is just unusable. This is 100% unusable in my opinion. There's just no getting around it, and like and just like these little tiny things, like I would stick with this just because, like, man, my hope that it one like eventually becomes like a, you know, listens to, becomes more of like a task management, like nice clean interface like this, but two, also like, you know, actually implement some of the time tracking features and stuff that they're kind of alluding to here, and it being all the way around. But like they're releasing features. I just got an email today. Let's see. the let's see, desktop app 1.0, screen recordings, videos. Like, dude, like they basically copied their chat thing, is basically a copy of, um, oh, I turned it off because it's so useless. Um, Chat feature is basically just a copy of Slack, right? Like you can download a desktop app. Oh, that's super cool, right? No, dude, everyone's already on Slack. Everybody I hire is already on Slack. Like, why the fuck would they want to download or add this new tool to do it? Like, everyone already communicates on Slack. Build an integration to Slack. That's all you need. Like, what this right here should do is, this should only be like maybe a reflection of Slack. Maybe like this takes through API or something the things in Slack and then moves them and like and shows them in here. So you can like have your communication right in Slack right from this dashboard. That would be something that would be useful. Not your own new Slack. Like no one is, no, stop. Don't do it. Like this is, you're spending time like, wow, dude, wow, oh, this is amazing, super cool. I bet it doesn't work, and two, like, because nothing else does. What would give me any indication that that's going to work when you can't even click on, you can't even read what some of these labels right here are for, and subtasks are literally buried in a menu up here. Like this isn't. Here's how you do a pop out, right? Nice and big, takes up like, it's probably like something where they say do 50% maybe, 50% up to a certain point and then take up the whole space, right? Like spacing, yeah, that's exactly what it is, 50%. So useful, not useful, right? So like, and I mean, just like little things like this. This is a project management utility, right? Fix it. Fix this first. I mean, just I've gone on for 20 minutes now, and I think I've gotten the point across pretty well, like why this application deserves a one taco review on Appsumo. Like it's not just try to do one thing. Like if the developers of this program want to focus on anything, like great, like the timesheets, you can set, this is how you're going to set yourself apart from other task management utilities. But you have to get the projects and tasks right first. Like you have to, like if this is unusable, if this is like literally like impossible to use, then it's just not gonna like, why is there a scroll here? Like, dude, that's just, every time I hit this, like I try to like get back into it and try to use it and set up, some projects that I have in Hubstaff. I'm just like, oh, I can't do it. I can't do it. Like I got 2 tasks in and 2 columns, and I was like, this is, I got to come back later and think of it or something. Like I get one of these emails and I'm like, oh, maybe they fixed something, and no, and they won't, and they won't. You know how I know they won't? 2019. That's how I know they won't.